Many, many congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So, how are you feeling after getting a selection?
I'm very, very, very happy.
Very
That
happy.
SIDBI has actually played a very big support for this whole thing. That's why
Thank
you
you.
were the first people that I emailed when
Yes,
I got selected.
yeah. Thank you so much for that.
So my name is Ritika Rajput. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, but my roots belong to Nepal. I did my bachelor's in commerce from KJ Somaya College, and simultaneously I was pursuing my chartered accountancy. Once I cleared my CA finals in 2022, I started working in my family business in the education industry.
Okay. That's very nice to know.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, let's talk about your preparation first. So, I just want to know, first of all, before starting that, how did you manage your study along with your job?
I was actually, my motivation for this was firstly, I was looking for something in the field of economics. That was
Okay.
my main motive. So my first choice was actually starting to prepare for RBI Grade B exams. So I had started preparing from, I think, March 24 onwards. I had started preparing and I was giving regularly 4 to 5 hours every day. Like consistency is very important.
Along with your job.
Yeah, so I'm mostly
That's very nice.
night person. So I used to study during the night time, and I was consistently preparing every day for 4 to 5 hours. So I think consistency is more important in the regulatory body exams.
Yes, very good, very nice. So, that's very good to know that being in a job, you are managing 4 to 5 hours a day. That's very big deal. इतना नहीं निकल पाता है actually that time. So let's talk about the phase one first. So in your phase one, you have merit and non-merit section, as you know. So how did you manage to? What was your approach for the merit section first? I want to know. कि non-merit तो वैसे भी आपका reasoning, quant English है. But I want to know what was your approach for this merit section? What resources you followed for that?
Actually, I think my biggest thing was because I was preparing for RBI already. So the base was already there. The foundation was strong. I only had to do a little bit of MSME study and get in depth with that. So I focused more on that merit section only because non-merit already the practice had happened because this year I had given RBI and SEBI both. And for SEBI, I had taken CGB course only for the whole this. So I had
Full complete preparation.
yeah. So phase one I had cleared in SEBI. I gave the phase two, but cutoff I missed for interview by 5 marks. So that I think my foundation was already there. I just had to get brush up a bit about the MSME sector specifically. So when I gave SIDBI phase one, I wasn't expecting the exam didn't go that well. I wasn't expecting to get my name for the phase two round. So I think the exam was somewhere in the end of December. And then I just didn't think about it. And then suddenly in the first week of, I think, January, the results came.
January, the results, yes.
My roll number was there and I was shocked. And then I thought, I'm so close now.
Yes,
Work
yes.
for the
That's a different kind of happiness when you are not expecting and then your number appear in that list. That's a different kind of happiness there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there was actually very less time for phase two. I think it was hardly 12, 13 days. And immediately the moment I cleared phase two, I bought your phase two course for SIDBI. And that helped for the next, I think, 13, 14 days. I was only referring to the CGB course.
Very, very good. Thanks. Okay. So for GA, general awareness, as you told, ki your foundation was already built, but still I want to know ki how much time current affair did you follow? Last 3 months or 6 months?
So, ma'am, my approach for current affairs was very different. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of Telegram channels who give you that PDF, like weekly PDF.
Compilation, yes. Mm-hmm.
Started with that, but it felt like a ratification for me.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
realized that if I want to genuinely get into GN, especially for RBI, it is 80 marks.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized I need to start reading newspapers. That was something that I was not doing at all before. So I
Okay.
experimented a lot with different kind of newspapers, and finally, like I found like Economic Times the most
Yes.
familiar for me, and it was
Yeah.
easy to
Yes.
understand. So I was reading newspapers daily, and I think
Mm-hmm.
this is a habit that everyone should have because you are the current affairs gets brushed up,
Yes.
but secondly, your English descriptive mate helps a lot.
Yes, it helps a lot there, yes.
An opinion about things, you know the hot current topics that are happening. तो वो एक
Yes, yes,
opinion formation
definitely.
हो जाता है.
Uh-huh.
And also I think in my interview stage, it helped me a lot. The newspaper.
Yes, this newspaper reading is very good. It will help you in your descriptive interview. एक वो foundation build कर देता है कि how you have to manage the writing there.
And I was also following Masoom ma'am's PIB sessions.
PIB classes,
So
okay.
I was doing that regularly for my RBI. And I think newspaper is a must for anyone.
Yes,
Please don't go for only the weekly PDFs. Genuinely,
yes.
because
Uh,
it will help you a lot in English descriptive and your interview round.
this will with the compilation and current affair, they can help you only for the phase one or objective section, but the newspaper reading will build your foundation for that descriptive writing. That's very good approach actually. So in merit and non-merit section, there were a lot of questions. You are having only limited time, like
Yes.
120 minutes. So how did you manage the time there?
Ma'am, so
And
actually, my approach was always because my strength is English. So I started with
Mhm.
my English
Mhm.
section. Then I went to GA because GA mein
Okay.
there's either you know the answer, you don't know the answer. There's
You
no
know that,
middle
yes.
ground. So I went, the next was GA, and then quants and reasoning. I always used to just skim through the paper and mark
Mhm.
the questions. Ki jo aata hai, just mark it and then
Mhm.
only solve those questions. Don't waste your time going one
Okay.
question after the other. So once I was done with the non-merit section, then jo bhi bacha hua time tha, I just focused it on the merit section of all the
Merit.
specific and all. So I spent the entire rest time I was spending in that only. I finished the non-merit. I exactly don't remember the time, but first
Like you just first completed
at
that
first,
section. Ki I have to complete this, and then I'll focus my rest of the time there.
I didn't even
Yeah,
go back there. I was just like, now
हाँ,
I'll focus on this section only.
it's very good. As that was ना, there was a non-merit section. तो आपने कुछ questions set किया था mind में कि I have to attempt this much questions in each section और जो आया वो किया बस.
I went with जो जितना maximum कर सकते हो करो because I didn't want to have
हाँ,
that thing कि बस 12 question करके next
yes,
because
yes,
always the
yes.
accuracy
हाँ,
is a
हाँ,
problem. So my idea
yes,
was that the first half be very fast with the non-merit section,
yes,
do
yes.
as much as you can, then put your full focus in the merit sections.
Yes, that was very good approach, no? Because SIDBI was not taking the exam regularly, so you are not sure कि भाई last time कितना cut off गया था, and pattern was also changed, ना? So
Correct.
that was actually good. So your phase one went very well, है ना? Even after no expectation, you got your name there. So let's talk about the phase two. So I think you started preparing for the phase two after the result came or before that?
No, after the result. I
Uh,
wasn't expecting it. So I
because
think
you're
result came 8th or 9th January,
okay,
if
okay.
I'm not wrong. And there was hardly, like, I remember it was hardly 2 weeks that I had.
Yes, yes, the
So
exam was there.
that was when I was like, because I had referred your material for SEBI already.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that phase two, if I have to clear, I will have to take CGB. So I just immediately I purchased, I think the next day I purchased your
Yes, yes.
material and I was only referring to CGB for my phase two and it helped me clear.
Very good. Means you gave your everything in that 2 weeks, na, that you have to give it anyhow.
Because
That's very good.
I think the whole like I told you, my focus was RBI and
Mhm.
SEBI, but both of that kind of made me disappointed because I couldn't reach the final round.
Yes, yes, yes,
So by the
sometimes.
time SIDBI came, I was very low in my morale that maybe it will not happen. I'll have to sit again
Yes,
next
yes,
year.
yes.
But when the name came in the phase one, and I think they only passed, I think 850 candidates, if I'm not wrong. Like the
Yes, yes, okay.
margin was very
Mhm.
low, so I felt like I already have an advantage where the
Yes,
competition is
बिल्कुल,
now very.
बिल्कुल, yes.
So then I was
हाँ.
like, next 2 weeks, I need to work hard.
And now you are an officer now. That's a good and very, very congratulations again. Na, कि ठीक है RBI नहीं, but still other regulatory bodies are also there. Na, you have other options as well. For English, I want to ask you, what was your approach for essay writing and precise writing? Precise का तो फिर भी है कि you have to write in a limited word, आपको concise करना है. Essay writing में आपका क्या approach था? Like most of the students says कि you have to build the body in some point format, या some says कि आपको paragraph में लिखना है, कुछ words को highlight करो. Means how did your answer stands out from other? What was your approach for that?
Like for me specifically,
Mm-hmm.
there was very less time. So English
Yes.
is already my strength, and I think reading newspapers constantly gave me that
Edge over there.
that I was able to, like, any topic I can form my opinion and I can write. So I just
Mm-hmm.
followed that basic of like introduction, body, conclusion. There was no highlighting or point system, because that limited time that you get, it's your mind is already like, you know,
Yes,
you're
yes.
already so much to do. So what I basically focused on, that I shouldn't make any grammatical errors. That was
That's
my main focus, that
Mhm.
it's not necessary that you need to have amazing vocabulary and you need to write very difficult words. It should be
You should
simple, it should be crisp, but the English, like, there should be no grammatical
no
error.
grammatical error. That was the main thing they want to
That
check
was
there.
what I was focusing on. So I didn't write any essays as such for practice, because, as I said, the time is very limited. But CGB has a lot of sample essays that you keep giving in your tab.
Yes.
So I used to read essays, like all the essays I had covered. So I had a brief idea of all the hot topics that was going on. So that helped me in the English essay writing.
Okay. Did you make some list on your own for these topic, or just you went through our material? Ki these
I
are the
went
things
through
you
your material. I was completely relied on that.
you trusted us and you were selected.
Yes.
And for your paper two, what was your approach for that? Like in paper two, I was seeing a lot of laws were there, no? Majority. So objective is also there, subjective is also there, and there was an objective you are having 2 mark question, 1 mark question. So what was your approach? How did you reduce that negative कि नहीं जाए ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा?
So, ma'am, first I'll start from subjective, because उसमें I realized my biggest problem was that content ही उतना नहीं आ रहा था. Like, the expectation is that you write 400 to almost 500 words.
Yes,
But
yes,
for
yes.
any topic, I was hardly able to write 250 words max. So then I realized there's a huge gap in the content, and that is not going to help me. So what I was doing was, I was reading your material, and then I was making my own separate Word file where I was typing it, like for any topic, like if it's threads. So I was just writing the topic threads, and then minimum 500 words I was typing, and like how much I can type on my own. And after that, I was referring to your notes and adding more points. So by the end of the 2 weeks, I had a fodder material created where, so last day I just revised my own material, because I had all the topics with almost 500 words. So that really helped me. So creating your own material, because that helps in your typing speed also, like that part is also getting practiced, and you have a material ready for the last day revision.
Last day revision, yes, that's very good. Na? You should have some handy notes at the last time for the last time revision. That helps a lot for this exam
And
preparation.
for MCQs, ma'am, again, top 100 MCQs.
That's like
that
hit
is,
for everyone, for
that
every
is,
exam.
yeah, that
These
is a
top
game
100 marks are a hit for
changer.
everyone. So, Ritika, I want to ask you, like, what was your approach for answer writing? कि आपने क्या methodology adopt की, like intro, body, paragraph form, or in like just point form, examples, and what was your approach for that? कि आपने
So,
कैसे अपने answers को लिखा?
answer writing, first I went through all the questions, and just maybe I felt like, okay, this is one question that I'm extremely confident. Like, I still remember threads ke bare mein question aaya tha, and I had created that for the material. So I knew a lot about that. So I started with that question because it gives you that boost, okay, that you have written well.
Yes, yes.
And I was writing in points for my answer subjective part. I was making pointers and I was writing all the questions. I was trying my best to reach 450, 500, but वो हर इसमें तो possible नहीं हो
नहीं
रहा.
possible हो पाता है वो, yes,
जितना हो
because you
सके,
are having limited time there, ना?
हाँ, but जितना हो सके, I was trying to write as much as I can for the descriptive part. But I
Descriptive
think
part.
the fodder material helped me, because a lot of
You have
points You have
Yes.
yourself typed it, so you remember. कि अच्छा ये
Yes, you have created that, you know, these things will help you in fortifying your answers there. That's
Yes.
right. Did you use some case studies in your answers, like lot of laws based questions were there? So
Uh,
any of the case
no,
studies,
I
or
don't.
just in a normal कि भाई जिस तरीके से आंसर लिखना intro body and that
Yes,
examples
I just
we
followed
follow.
that, and I was keeping points system.
Okay. That's very good. So I want to ask about your interview experience. How was it?
Interview, I think this was the part I was most scared about. I wasn't that
Mhm.
much scared about mains, but again, I think guidance session with Mayank sir was really helpful for me, because he
Mhm.
gave me a perspective. I was feeling that because I don't have that banking experience, it might
Experience, yes.
be looked at as a negative aspect, and I spoke to Mayank
Mm-hmm.
sir about it. But he made me realize that I have the experience of running my own business, which means that
Yes, yes.
I've been living in MSME for the past 2 years. So you have that entrepreneur skills that others don't
Mhm.
have. So you have,
Don't have.
so don't look at it as a baggage. It is actually your strength. So he
Yes.
changed my perspective.
Remain definitely yes.
He changed that, and that made me feel a lot more confident
Confident
while going for my interview.
interview.
And interview, there were 5 people on the panel. So the moment I
Okay.
entered, I wasn't expecting. I thought maximum there'll be 4 people. So, but they were very cordial.
Mhm.
Everyone was. There was one sir who was making sure that I'm comfortable the whole time. And the questions also revolved a lot around my business, like what do I do, what are the profits of my business, what does a debt equity
Yeah.
ratio look like.
Means completely or डेफ बेस्ड कि जो आपका एक्सपीरियंस था वहीं से क्वेश्चंस आपके रिवॉल्व किए.
Mainly it was that, and I had studied the whole SIDBI website, so I thought they'll ask me something related to SIDBI, but nothing
Yes,
of that sort came. It was mostly profile, and also I think they were asking me a lot of situation-based questions, like
situation based. Okay.
just to test key, like if we
Hey,
said,
how will you perform in those situations? Like,
and then it came thoda to my CA background, and they asked me some questions related to
mm-hmm.
that also. So I think when I came out, I realized that this interview was less about testing my knowledge, but more about seeing my character, like how I am as a person. So it's just that you have to be honest and you have to be confident. Like there were a lot
Confident.
of
Yeah, these are
questions.
the keys for cracking the interview, according to me. Like you have to be confident. अगर कुछ नहीं आता तो ठीक है नहीं आता. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
Because
there
this
were
should
a
be
lot
your
of
first
questions where I said that I'm sorry, I don't know. And that
हाँ,
wasn't looked at as a negative thing, I think now
हाँ.
it's
You
clear.
can't know everything. ना आपको सब कुछ नहीं पता हो सकता. Somewhere you lag, somewhere you are excellent. So, but you should be confident there.
Yeah.
Confident is the key there.
Even in my interview, ma'am, a lot of current affairs questions were coming. So I was
Okay.
glad that I followed the newspaper. So they were asking me about AI, data privacy, what happened with Byju's. So I realized that if I wasn't reading the newspapers and I wasn't keeping up with all those topics, then it would have been difficult for me.
Yes,
So I think reading newspapers is a must.
yes, is a must there. That's very good. And Byju's question, I think that comes to you because you are working in an education sector. आप वही coaching industry में काम कर रहे हो. That's why they ask you what
Same
happened to them.
question, actually, when I gave my final mock at CGB, the same
Mm-hmm.
question, like ma'am had asked me that you should prepare it because you are from the education background. So this question can
Yes,
come. And when it came, like one of the panelists asked, I had a big smile on my face because I knew that.
yes, I have prepared for this one. That's very good.
Yes.
That's very good. Na, कि that fortunate एक तरीके से कि वहाँ at the last moment in your mock that was suggested and this was asked to you. Okay. Again, very congratulations, Ritika. And it's very nice talking to you, like
Thank you,
with
ma'am.
such a smiley face. Like,
Thank
that's
you,
very
ma'am.
nice.
I am
Uh,
actually very grateful to Crack Grade B for this.
yes, this was my next question to you. कि How did our platform help you to crack this exam?
Firstly, I think because I followed a lot of platforms during my regulatory body preparation, and CGB has been the my top favorite
Top,
right
top.
now. Because your notes, it's just so like well curated. We
Hmm.
live in the internet age where we can find anything on
Everything.
social media or any chat GPT you can use.
Mm-hmm.
But as an aspirant, you don't know where to stop, like how much depth to go up to. So I think CGB just provides you the right kind of notes, which is not less, which is not more, but it is
Yes.
exactly the point.
Which is relevant to the exam.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that the notes has been extremely important in my journey of CGB. And plus, as I said, the top 100 MCQs, because even during my
Yes,
SIDBI phase 2, a lot of questions came from the 100 MCQs, which the team had.
yes, yes. They are hit. Mm-hmm.
That helped me. And finally, in the interview stage, I had not given any other mocks. It was just CGB that I was
Yes,
referring to.
okay.
And then another CA friend of mine who was helping me with like conducting my mocks. So I was
Mm-hmm.
reliable on only two people. So I hadn't bought any other courses.
Any other.
Even like Mayank sir, I used to listen to all of his guidance sessions, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I used to make sure.
Most of the students got stuck when they purchase lot of courses. They just can't figure out कि they have to do this, they have to do this. अब इतना bulk create हो जाता है at the moment, at the last moment they are having lot of things for revision और वो कुछ नहीं revise कर पाते हैं. हाँ, so that's very good approach of yours कि that you relied only one platform and you religiously follow that कि भाई मुझे wholeheartedly यही करना है. That's very good. So what tips you want to give to the other aspirants as well?
Ma'am, I think my tip would be consistent, because if you're not consistent in this game, then it's not going to work. You don't have to sit for 12, 13 hours of study. If you're just consistent 3, 4 hours every day, it works very well. Phase 1 के लिए practice quants and reasoning regularly, because no matter आप phase 2 के लिए जितना भी पढ़ो, अगर phase 1 ही नहीं निकला तो you will never get to sit for the quants and reasoning. Like, do daily practice, daily puzzles. That will help you a lot. Read newspapers, because that has been very helpful for me throughout the whole English and the interview process. And I think lastly, just like believe in yourself, because for me, I decided to give these exams in 2024. I gave RBI, I gave SEBI, but I couldn't reach till the last stage, and I had lost hope. I was like, okay, maybe I'm lacking somewhere.
Like survey.
But then I think when SIDBI came, so I did reach till the end, and this has given me the confidence that if you're just consistent, no knowledge is waste. Like whatever I had
Yes.
studied for RBI and SEBI,
Everything was used.
it helped me, because utne kam time mein I wouldn't have able to clear SIDBI if I did not
Yes,
have a foundation. So whatever you are studying, even if you get a negative result, don't be and don't feel like this is the end and this was of no use. Just feel like somewhere this is going to help me in the future.
You should have faith on your preparation that you have studied something here that will help you somewhere else. If
So
not
just
there.
be positive and be consistent with your preparation.
Yes, that's very good. And a very, very congratulations again to you, and wish you luck for your future, Ritika.
Yes.
Maybe you will be an excellent officer as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am.